Hi, my name's Keith Nickel, and before we get underway today, I'd really like to give a shout out to Eau Claire Gloves and Craft Clothing. Eau Claire has been my longest running sponsor, and I really appreciate how their gloves and mitts keep my hands warm throughout the wintertime. And Craft Clothing joined us last winter, and I really enjoy the multi-purpose aspect of their clothing. For instance, this jacket I not only wore last winter, but also through the spring and summer. So if you're looking for well-fitted functional clothing, have a look at Craft Clothing, either online or in your nearest outdoor store. I also want to remind skiers about our Fast Track online ski instruction program for both classic, skate, and roller skiing. So if you don't have qualified instructors nearby, you may want to contact me at k2nickel@gmail.com for more information about our online Fast Track program. Today's video, I like to look at a combination of hip mobility and balance exercises that you can use all through the season. You can use it on dry land through the summer and fall, and also through the winter time to look at hip mobility and balance, two things which are important in almost any aspect of skiing. Let's look at hip mobility in probably the easiest to explain example, and that is diagonal stride or cross-country skiing, in cross-country skiing. So when we talk about hip mobility, we're just thinking now about moving the hip back and forth like this. This is kind of our walking step. We use it when we cycle, we use it when we walk, we use it when we hike, and we use it when we classic ski. Only in this case, we push down and back. We also, of course, want to balance on that ski. So we can combine some of these mobility things with balance. Remember, if we want to balance, we want to be flexed ankles, knees, and hips. We don't want to have our weight getting back like this. So I always start in this kind of position. And in classic skiing, then, our hip mobility kind of goes like this. We want to push down and back. We want to have our center of mass over this support leg. So we want to shift it over a little bit. And we want to be able to balance on that ski momentarily. This balance is very critical in classic skiing, and many skiers have problems with it. So practice this at home. We want to switch feet, of course. Now we're on this foot. We want to push down and back and just keep that balance while that hip is moving in this direction. If we want to think about skate skiing, now our hip is going to go in this direction. Okay, so quite a different motion, and in terms of just practicing this, we're going to go from here to here to here, and of course we also want to build in this balance. So when we're in this position, think about getting toe, knee, and nose over top, and just hold that. Put the foot back, hold that. When we skate, again, we want to be on one foot at a time. Many people struggle with balancing with their foot, with this hip way out like this. This is harder to balance than this kind of motion. So skating is harder than classic skiing. Of course, remember, we want to practice both legs. So you want to get toe, knee, and nose over top. Hold that. Hold that. I often bring my hand up as a little reminder to get the toe, knee, and nose alignment like you see here. Hold it. Hold it. And progressively hold it longer and longer on each side. So for both classic skiing and skate skiing, hips move in different directions. When it comes to downhills, they move in a completely different type of situation. So if we're, again, flexing our athletic stance, we're going to make a snowplow turn in this direction. We want this foot here to go out in this kind of a pattern. So it goes out, steers around, and comes across like that. And this side over here, it looks like this. So we want to get a rotary motion in the hip. The hip now does something quite different than it did for either classic skiing or skate skiing. Of course, just a reminder, when we are making a turn, we actually want to put our weight on that ski that's making that steering action. But clearly, with my grippy soles of these shoes and this pebbly surface here, I can't get my foot to do that. So remember, we want to put our weight on that when we're actually making those turns. But for this drill inside or in dry land, we can practice it like this And again, it's a great balance exercise as well. So just to clarify on the downhill part, let's look at this downhill ski sequence. Our skis are very slippery, the snow is slippery, so putting our weight and making this twisting action with the foot works a whole lot better on snow. And in this particular example, you can see my right ski making the turn, and then my left ski twisting, steering the ski around, making the turn. Right ski making the turn, and then my left ski twisting, steering the ski around, making the turn. So hip mobility, something we usually don't think about very much when we cross-country ski, but when it comes to making a turn, we have this rotary motion like this. When it comes to classic skiing, it may be like this. When it comes to skate skiing, it's a push to the side. And of course, we can do all kinds of other types of exercises for our hips just to keep them nice and loose. You know, we can do all kinds of things like this. Of course, we wouldn't do these on our cross-country skis, but good balance and good exercises for your hips in terms of keeping them loose. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, share it with skiers you think might benefit. See you on the trails.